Hello everyone, it's MiQY and I own the rights to this music. Tonight on MiQyVision, we're going to discuss something that literally every human on earth deals with, and that is grief. Grief is a very strong struggle that humans go through on a regular basis every single day. They say that there's the 7 stages of grief: denial, acceptance, anger, so on and so forth. And as humans, we all deal with grief on a different level. We all deal with it differently. Dealing with someone that has died is a struggle to move forward, when we all know the cliche things that we do to get through someone dying. We all know that they want us to go forward in life. We all know that they want us to live our best lives. We all know that they're in a better place and that they're no longer suffering. But for whatever reason, none of these cliche things comfort us in this time of grief. Does that mean that we don't need to hear it? Absolutely not. Everyone may deal with grief and process it differently. Some people get angry. Some people get into denial. Some people self-medicate using drugs or alcohol. Some people isolate themselves and push people away. Some people can't be alone and absolutely have to be around people. They'll even go to Walmart just to be around other humans. There's a different process of grieving for a child versus the process of grieving for your mother, versus the process of grieving for a brother or cousin, versus the process of grieving for a mutual platonic friend or a dog or some other type of pet. But the grief in itself is the same. Some living thing or person that we love is no longer living. That person or thing will no longer be around us. We could talk to this person every single day for years. We can see this person every single week for years. Or we could have not seen them in a very long time, other than FaceTime or video chatting or something, but we could have not seen them for a long period of time and then feel like we didn't have enough time with them. You could see somebody every single day of your entire life, and when they die, it's still not going to feel like enough. I was watching a TV show, and there were some immortal beings, and one of them had lived over 1,000 years. He said, "I feel like I owe it to her to be here because I loved her." And when you love somebody, you have this extreme vulnerability to them that you know for a fact that they're going to hurt you. But it is worth it to love them, because the love in itself is worth the pain. When they say true love doesn't hurt and love is patient and love is kind, they're not saying that love is not going to hurt. The way I took it when he said what he said about you're vulnerable enough to them that you know they're going to hurt you, but it's worth it, I took it in the sense that because he's been alive for 1,000 years, he has literally watched the people that he loves die 1,000 years over. They could never cheat on you, never hurt you, never lie to you, never beat you, never cross you or turn their back on you in life. But it's going to hurt when they die. That's the inevitability of love hurting. No matter what, no matter how good it is, when they die, if they die before you, it's going to hurt like hell. And it's worth loving them. That pain, it's worth loving them to bring that joy that the love brings in that grief. I know people that have lost dogs and say they will never have a dog again because they couldn't control that. They could not handle that amount of pain. There's people that have had children that have died and they say, I just can't have another kid, I just can't have another kid, because they don't want to take the risk of losing this child. But death in itself is what makes life so beautiful. Things are not beautiful because they're meant to last. They're beautiful because they don't. They're precious because they're rare. Diamonds, precious jewels, time. It's precious and beautiful because it's not meant to last. So when you're processing grief, isolate yourself when you feel like you do need to be alone. But don't stay in that loneliness. You know, be around people when you think you need to be around, but don't stay in that self-medication of being around people all the time. You have to learn to process to be alone and accept being alone, or you'll never get over it. It's like confronting a fear. If you're angry, be angry. Curse, scream. Find something that doesn't cost a lot of money. You know, go buy a case full of cheap glasses and go break them somewhere that's not going to hurt anybody or hurt yourself, and just make sure you clean that shit up. But ultimately, don't stay in that anger. It's very healthy to cry. It's one of the healthiest things that we do, but don't stay in your tears all the time. It's very healthy to pray. It's very healthy to process anger. It's okay to laugh in denial of a situation, but don't stay in one of them. Just process each one of them and try to move forward. Because as much as you know it, as much as you know they want you to live your best life, as much as you know that they want you to move on and go forward, as much as you know they don't want you to feel guilt-stricken, they don't want you to beat yourself up, they don't want you to criticize yourself and hold yourself down for why you couldn't save them, or don't feel like it's their fault, especially if it's a suicide. Don't ever, just stay in that process of feeling like it's your fault. Find people that are giving you an uplifting spirit, people that are there for you after the funeral, after everyone has gone on about their lives, people that are going to be there for you when you need them to be. Process each one and try to move forward. Just because you know these cliche things doesn't mean that you don't need to hear it. It's what gives us hope. It's what keeps us moving forward. Hope is alive and well. Quoting Superman, hope is like your car keys. You may lose them from time to time, but if you keep looking around, they're typically not too far away. Again, this is Mickey for MiQyVision. We really appreciate you listening to us. We hope that this helps you to process grief. Please share this and subscribe to the channel. Share it with anybody that you feel that this is truly going to help. And as always, it's MiQyVision, so do what you feel.